For thousands of years, a delicate crimson thread has captivated emperors, chefs, healers, and traders across continents. It has inspired legends, fueled international commerce, and become a symbol of luxury unlike almost any other ingredient on Earth. Despite weighing almost nothing, this remarkable spice can sell for thousands of dollars per kilogram, earning it the nickname red gold. That spice is saffron, the world's most expensive spice. But what makes these tiny red strands so valuable? The answer lies in an extraordinary combination of biology, geography, history, and an astonishing amount of human labor. Every pinch of saffron tells a story that stretches from ancient civilizations to modern kitchens, proving that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. Saffron comes from the flower Crocus sativus, commonly known as the saffron crocus. This beautiful purple flower blooms for only a brief period each autumn. Hidden inside each blossom are 3 tiny crimson stigmas, the delicate structures that become saffron once they are carefully harvested and dried. While the flower itself is attractive, it is those 3 fragile threads that hold extraordinary value. Unlike many crops that produce abundant harvests, every saffron flower contributes only a tiny amount of usable spice. To produce just 1 kilogram of dried saffron, farmers must collect the stigmas from roughly 150,000 to 200,000 flowers. This staggering number immediately explains why saffron cannot be produced cheaply or quickly. The cultivation process begins months before the flowers ever appear. Farmers plant underground bulbs known as corms in well-drained soil where summers are hot and dry, while winters remain relatively mild. These conditions are essential because the saffron crocus thrives only in very specific climates. Countries such as Iran, Spain, India, Greece, Morocco, and Afghanistan have become major producers because their environments provide the right balance of temperature, rainfall, and sunlight. Among these, Iran dominates global production, supplying well over 80% of the world's saffron. Entire communities depend on this precious crop, passing cultivation techniques from one generation to the next. When autumn arrives, the real challenge begins. The flowers bloom for only a few weeks each year, and each blossom remains fresh for just a day or two. Farmers must wake before sunrise to harvest the flowers while they are still closed. Picking them early protects the delicate stigmas from sunlight and wind, preserving both their color and aroma. Entire families often work together during this short harvest season because every hour matters. If flowers are left in the field too long, they begin to wilt, reducing the quality of the final spice. After harvesting, the flowers are brought indoors where another painstaking process begins. Skilled workers gently separate each crimson stigma from the flower by hand. This task requires incredible patience and precision because the threads are extremely delicate. There is no machine capable of consistently performing this work without damaging the valuable stigmas. Every single thread must be removed individually, meaning thousands of flowers may take many hours to process. Imagine sitting for an entire day removing tiny strands from flower after flower. That enormous investment of human labor is one of the biggest reasons saffron commands such a high price. Once separated, the stigmas are carefully dried. Although drying sounds simple, it is actually one of the most critical stages in saffron production. Too much heat can destroy the aromatic compounds that give saffron its distinctive fragrance, while insufficient drying allows moisture to remain, reducing shelf life and encouraging spoilage. Farmers have developed different drying techniques over centuries, ranging from charcoal fires to controlled modern dehydrators. During drying, the threads lose most of their weight, concentrating their flavors, pigments, and aromas into the finished spice. What makes saffron so unique is not just its rarity, but also its remarkable chemistry. 3 natural compounds define its identity. Crocin is responsible for saffron's vibrant golden color, capable of transforming rice, sauces, and desserts with only a few threads. Picrocrocin contributes the slightly bitter taste that balances its sweetness. Saffronol creates the distinctive aroma, often described as floral, earthy, honey-like, and subtly metallic all at once. Together, these compounds create an experience unlike any other spice. No artificial flavoring perfectly recreates saffron's complex combination of color, scent, and taste. Throughout history, saffron has been treasured far beyond the kitchen. Ancient civilizations used it as a dye for royal garments, a perfume ingredient, a medicinal herb, and even a cosmetic. Historical records suggest that Egyptians valued saffron for fragrances, while ancient Greeks associated it with myths and luxury. Persian cultures celebrated saffron in cuisine and traditional medicine, and Roman elites imported it at great expense. During the Middle Ages, saffron became so valuable in Europe that theft and counterfeiting were serious crimes. Some regions even established strict regulations to ensure its authenticity, recognizing that dishonest merchants could easily mix lower quality materials with genuine saffron to increase profits. The spice also became an important part of global trade. Caravans transported saffron across deserts, while merchant ships carried it through the Mediterranean and beyond. Because saffron was lightweight yet extremely valuable, it became an ideal commodity for long-distance commerce. Traders risked dangerous journeys knowing that a small pouch of saffron could represent a considerable fortune. Entire towns prospered by growing, processing, or trading this precious spice, demonstrating its enormous economic significance. Today, saffron remains a prized ingredient in cuisines around the world. In Spain, it gives paella its famous golden color and subtle aroma. In Italy, it enriches creamy risotto, alla Milanese. Across the Middle East, saffron flavors fragrant rice dishes, stews, sweets, and teas. In India, it enhances biryanis, desserts, and traditional drinks. Even a few strands can transform an ordinary recipe into something memorable. Because saffron is so concentrated, chefs usually soak the threads in warm water, milk, or broth before adding them to food. This gentle infusion releases the valuable compounds, ensuring every drop carries the spice's rich flavor and brilliant color. Unfortunately, saffron's high value has also made it one of the world's most commonly adulterated spices. Unscrupulous sellers may mix genuine saffron with dyed corn silk, safflower petals, turmeric, or shredded plant material to increase profits. Powdered saffron is particularly vulnerable because impurities are much harder to detect once the threads have been ground. For this reason, many experienced cooks prefer purchasing whole saffron threads from trusted suppliers. Genuine saffron displays deep crimson strands with trumpet-shaped ends and releases its color gradually, rather than instantly when soaked in warm liquid. Scientists continue studying saffron for potential health benefits as well. Research suggests that its natural compounds possess antioxidant properties and may support mood, vision, and cognitive function. Some preliminary studies have explored possible roles in reducing inflammation and improving mental well-being. However, researchers emphasize that while these findings are promising, saffron should not be considered a miracle cure. Most health experts recommend enjoying it primarily as part of a balanced diet rather than relying on it as medicine. Climate change presents new challenges for saffron farmers. Changes in rainfall patterns, rising temperatures, and unpredictable weather can all influence flowering seasons and crop yields. Since saffron depends on such precise growing conditions, even small environmental changes may affect production. Farmers are increasingly experimenting with improved irrigation methods, sustainable agriculture, and careful soil management to protect future harvests while preserving centuries-old traditions. Ultimately, saffron's incredible price is not simply about rarity. It reflects thousands of years of agricultural knowledge, countless hours of careful hand labor, a flower that blooms for only a brief moment each year, and a product that cannot be rushed or mass-produced. Every tiny crimson thread represents patience, precision, and dedication from the people who cultivate it. The next time you see a few strands of saffron floating in a steaming bowl of rice or infusing a fragrant dessert with its unmistakable golden glow, remember that those delicate threads began as flowers picked before dawn, harvested by hand, and transformed through one of the most labor-intensive processes in agriculture. That extraordinary journey from field to table is why saffron truly deserves its legendary title as the world's priceless red gold.